I've been thinking about gold and silver more lately. Like, the world's not ending, but it just keeps coming up when the economy and money just starts falling off. Like, if you look at the news, inflation, debt, interest rates, they're unpredictable. And every time there's just another headline or another argument online about the economy, gold and silver, and they just show up somewhere in the conversation. And like, for a long time, I kind of ignored it. Like, it felt outdated. Like, it sounds like something that people talked about before there were better options. But the more I sat around, the more I realized that gold and silver really don't go away. Like, gold is boring. That's the first thing that stands out. No one really gets excited about it, but people flex gold. People do, wake up at 6 a.m. to check gold prices, but it's not like stocks or crypto. It doesn't move fast. It doesn't do anything super dramatic. It kind of just exists. But when things are good, nobody cares about boring. People want growth. They want returns. They want something that feels like progress. And gold doesn't feel like that. And it just feels like it's standing still. But staying still is not a bad thing. Like, if you look back at history, and I don't mean like super deep, just like basic history, basic economics. Every paper currency has lost its value over time. Every single one. And it's not a conspiracy or anything. It's just how inflation works. The dollar today does not buy what it used to. It doesn't buy the same thing 10 years ago either. And this didn't happen all at once. It just slowly happened while people are busy living their lives. And that's kind of the scary part, like, not collapse, not, oh my God, out of nowhere the dollar lost all of its value, but erosion. And gold hasn't really worked like that. You can't print more of it. You can't decide to create trillions of dollars worth of gold because things are getting uncomfortable. And there's only so much of it. Mining it gets harder. Supply doesn't just magically expand or get created. And that alone makes it different than most things people invest in. Silver is interesting for a different reason. It gets lumped in with gold, but it's not exactly the same. The thing about silver is it actually gets used. Electronics, solar panels, medical equipment, real stuff. Like, people actually use this stuff. And if nobody cared about silver as money, it would still have demand. So it kind of lives in this middle space. Like, it's not just a store value like gold, but it's something the world actually needs. And I never really thought about this before. I just assumed that it was just a metal that people wore in jewelry, or like they talked about whenever they were just nervous. But I don't think gold and silver make you rich overnight. But I think it's something important to say that if you're looking for something that is just slow and can hedge against the economy, I feel like gold and silver is for you. It don't really reward attention. It doesn't really feel smart for holding it. People don't make you feel smart for holding it, but it doesn't really have quick momentum, but it doesn't have quick falling off either. It feels like insurance, and insurance is kind of annoying. You don't want to pay for it. You don't feel good about it, but you appreciate it when something goes wrong. And most people, when they talk about investing, are talking about, overnight growth, super growth. This line goes up, bigger numbers, more money. And gold and silver is more about not losing ground. It's not really that fun to talk about when you're young, but when you're young, you should feel like you're building, not protecting. You want progress, not preservation. And I get why most young people, they don't talk about gold and silver. But at the same time, putting everything that relies on the system working perfectly feels optimistic. Maybe too optimistic. Paper money works because we trust it. We trust governments. We trust policies. We trust central banks. All of it. And that trust mostly works until it don't. And gold really doesn't care about trust. Like, it's been valuable across different countries, different governments, different time periods. It does not care who's in charge or what the rules are of this decade. And that's kind of comforting in a boring way. Like, I'm not saying gold is perfect, and it doesn't produce anything, and it doesn't really grow on its own, but it can sit there for years and do absolutely nothing. And that's a real downside. But I think that not everyone should buy it. But I think I'm right about this. But I'm still figuring out like everyone else. It just feels like one of them things people start talking about when it's too late to get it cheaply. And every cycle looks the same. And when times are good, boring stuff gets ignored. And when things are breaking, like now, boring stuff suddenly looks smart. So I noticed that with a lot of things, not just gold. Silver definitely looks overlooked. And it doesn't get the same respect as gold because it's cheaper and people don't take it seriously. But it plays a real role in how things function. Like energy, technology, healthcare, silver is involved. And that doesn't guarantee anything, obviously. And it's not purely sentimental. But, and I don't think silver and gold replace other investments. I think that it is like a balancing function. And the future rarely works the way people expect. And I don't think you should tie everything to one idea on how the future should work. I don't think you should tie all of your money up into like AI. Because you should have something that's historically relevant. And I think that a lot of people don't like gold because it forces you to admit that there's some uncertainty in the world. So there's some uncertainty in the future. And most people don't buy gold because they're confident in the future. Most of the time you buy it because you're not. And you're uncertain that something is going to be wrong. And being uncertain is not something people like to admit. Anyway, I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. These are just one of them things that keep coming back the more and more you think about it long term. Not tomorrow, not today, not 1 year from now, just over time. Maybe it matters, maybe it doesn't. I'm going to keep thinking about it, not fully deciding for a while. That's usually how it goes. But thank you, and make sure to subscribe and like the video if you haven't already. And let me know what you guys think about gold versus other investments. Anyway, thank you, and have a nice day. Peace out.